Hey everyone, this is your girl, Libra Butterfly, coming to you from the great state of Kentucky, where the women are beautiful and the horses are fast, or the horses are beautiful and the women are fast. It just really depends on what you like. Hey, 300. Yeah, okay, Miss Lashanae. All right, babes. Honey, wind down. I get it. It is raining here, and I took a nap, and that rain was so soothing. I am just now waking up. So if y'all hear me sounding all sleep, I'm in my bed with my laptop. I'm determined I'm gonna do this, but yeah, I just woke up. So, anywho, happy birthday to all the October birthday people. Anybody who's celebrating an anniversary, to Lottie Dottie and everybody. Just wanted to say that. And to all my new subbies and subbies, period, my butterflies, smooches to you. And I hope everything is okay. Oh, okay. So let's get started, y'all. Ooh, I hate I took a nap, y'all. I promise y'all. It's oh Lord have mercy. I didn't know I was gonna sleep this long. But it's getting down here in Kentucky. And I tell y'all though, but it is so soothing. It really is. And I'm in here like so anywho. All right, so I might have to make this a two-part series, and I'm gonna tell you why. There's so much information that has to do with the blood and the direction that I'm going in that I don't want to overwhelm everyone tonight. And I might end up telling you something that you do not know. So let me start because I was writing so quick. I'm dyslexic. So my mind goes super fast and my hands go super slow. And so I have to make like notes that I'm supposed to understand what I wrote. And that's going to be funny because every time I go back, it's like, what was that? What did I write? So yeah, just bear with me. We're going to get through it. Okay. So, anywho, blood type, right? Y'all, this amazed me. This amazed me. Um, there is a blood type that is called RH negative as well as RH positive, right? Well, mostly everyone is Rh positive, whether you be O, A, B, AB. There is only a selected few that's Rh negative. Okay. Now, whew, it trips me out. Rh negative was concentrated deeply in one country. It's called Enclave. Okay. They are called the Bass people. BASS. The Bass people. 35% of those people has Rh negative blood. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay. Rh negative and Rh positive cannot mix. So if you're in a relationship and say the mother is Rh positive and the daddy is Rh negative and you get pregnant, 9 times out of 10, your antibodies is going to kill your fetus. Okay. That is the reason why a long time ago you used to have to get blood drawn before you could get married because they needed to test you to see if you were Rh negative or Rh positive. Because if you were Rh negative and your mate was Rh positive, you could not get married for the chance that you all may populate a baby. Okay? Now, 15% of the Rh negative blood was found mostly in Europe. Keep that. In Europe, y'all. Okay? One significant thing about the Rh negative people, they have an extra vertebrae. I'm gonna let that sit. In their back, they have an extra vertebrae. The Rh negative people. Now, Rh stands for rhesus, and they got the rhesus from this monkey. They got the name from this monkey that actually is over in Africa. It's called rhesus monkey or monkey rhesus. And so they they got the name rhesus from that monkey, but they shortened it and called it RH. Yeah, extra vertebrae. Okay, so here we go. Now that I gave y'all all that information, let's rock. Let's rock, people. Oh, this is waking me up now, y'all. That's right. Okay, so when they did a blood test and that part of their country, the Bass people, had so much of like I said, 35% of those people had Rh negative blood. They start asking, where did this Rh negative blood come from? Why do so many people in this particular area have Rh negative blood? So, like always, they went to Africa because Africa is where civilization started. Honey, catch that. Africa is where civilization started. So they went all the way back to Africa and tested the people over there. And none of us, I'm talking about those of us that have our skin color, none of us had the Rh negative gene. I'm going to let that marinate. Okay. So then scientists had to ask themselves, well, where in the Flip Wilson did this Rh negative blood come from? Because it doesn't make any sense. We traced it all the way back to the beginning of the origin of man, which is Africa, and nobody is carrying that gene. So that means between after the civilization was born and whenever the oldest person of the Basque community got Rh negative blood, something happened. So, how was the blood manipulated? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Okay. Okay, so now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so just bear with me. We're going somewhere with this. Okay, so y'all know that 1/3 of the angels, right, fell from heaven, got kicked out of heaven because of who? Lucifer, trying to overthrow heaven. All this is going to tie in. If you didn't catch on to what I was saying to y'all, now you get it too. Okay, so because of 1/3, which was like altogether, they're saying about 200. It was 200 angels that actually got kicked from heaven. Okay, now you know, I believe it's Genesis 6 talks about how the angels made it with the women, the human women, and they had kids. Those kids were called the Nephilims. The Nephilims is what we consider giants. Okay? Now, we've always been told there is also a scripture that says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be with the coming of man, the coming of the Son of Man, right? The Son of God, Jesus. All right. And let's take it step by step. What we have to ask is what was going on at the time of Noah? Okay? What was happening so bad that God sent the angel to tell Noah to start building the ark because he was going to take out human beings. All the human beings, he was going to wipe them out, except for Noah and his family. They would be the ones to start the earth all over again. Okay. So, what was happening that was that bad that the only thing God decided to do was to kill off man? I'm glad you asked. Okay. What was going on and what was high truancy to God was the fact that man tried to redo what God had already done. And I'll make it plain. So let's just say he created a tree. Man decides, well, I don't like that tree. I think it's something better I can do with this tree. So man decides he's going to manipulate this tree to where the tree only produced grapes, the tree only produced apples. Now man wants to trick the tree, manipulate the tree so that it can grow not only apples but oranges at the same time, which is against what it's supposed to do. So in other words, you're trying to say that the way God made things and put things in order was not right. And you're going to redo those. Hello. That's why Lucifer got kicked out of heaven, because he tried to redo and take over. So they came here because there was a promise. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. There was a promise that the heels of the woman was going to bruise Satan's head. So what Satan decided to do is contaminate the woman and her seed. So once the fallen angels made it with the women, what they did was contaminate the seed. They just didn't contaminate the seed when it came to kids, which made the Nephilim, but they contaminated the seed in everything. Like, do y'all remember pterodactyls? Do you remember dinosaurs? Do you remember reading stuff about those? Well, okay, that's during the same period. Do you ever wonder why, like, those animals came in and then all of a sudden, at the same time, the same era, they all just disappeared? That's because when the flood came, the flood was designed to kill the seed, to kill the pterodactyls, to cure the dinosaurs. All of these things had begun to live on Earth out of order. These were manipulated things that they were putting in order to see how they would function. And they began to take over. Also, the giants began to eat the human beings. After teaching them things that they wasn't supposed to know about iron, astrology, astronomy, science, things of that nature we were never supposed to know. After teaching that and all this and stuff, they start eating human beings. Now, after that, okay, so some of the angels got sent to another place called Shiloh. And I've told y'all once before, Shiloh is another place of hell. Okay? And they are bound in chains, not all of them, but they're bound in chains until the end of time. That's how bad they were. They're bound in chains until the end of time. Now, this is what people don't realize. And this is why I said it's going to have to be a part two to this. Because I'm going to mention this, but I'm not going to get into it. There was another kingdom born during the Noah age. Anybody know what kingdom that was? I'm glad you asked. The other kingdom that was born during that time was the water kingdom. Now, remember, God sent rain to flood the earth 40 days, 40 nights. So much so that the ark floated. Okay? 40 days, 40 nights. However, you can't drown stuff that swim. That's their natural habitat. I'm going to let that marinate. Did you? So, yeah, the water kingdom was created. So, even though the pterodactyls and the dinosaurs and all the other, misfit animals that was created against God's will, the giants and stuff like that, even though they drowned, the whole other kingdom of the water kingdom was created. Okay, so there is a thing, there is another name for fallen angels, and they're actually also in the Bible called watchers, and they also in the Bible called sons of God. Anytime you read sons of God, those are the fallen angels. Okay, um, so let me give you the name of some and tell you what their duty was. Okay, one of the fallen angels that was in lead of doing some stuff was Azazel. Azazel, I know I'm mispronouncing that, but I have all that written down. Um, Raphael called Azazel. Uriel is the angel that God sent to speak to Noah. Gabriel, so it's supposed to be Gabriel. All it ends in El, Gabriel, is the one to help destroy the giants and their human kids. Michael is the one who bound Simra Cesar and 70 other of the fallen angels in the pit. That's why we call Michael the warring angel, because he wars. I'm going to tie it into what we said about the blood. Check this out. Okay, so Uriel is over the world and hell. That's the top one of the top angels who's over the world and he's over hell. He watches it, okay, which is called Tetris, place of torment. Okay, Raphael, he's over the spirits of man. So when somebody pass away or whatever, Raphael is the one who watches the spirit to make sure, or either when you're, he guides your spirit to do what's right. That's Raphael. Rockwell, he takes vengeance on the world of the Luminaries. Michael, hold on, I gotta read my writing, y'all. Okay, Michael, he is the one that watches over or sets over the best part of mankind. Okay, and over chaos. He's over, when you get out of order. Yeah. Let me see. Sam McQuail sits over the spirits who sin in the spirit. So when you go to hell or whatever, that's the angel that's in the leader in the head to escort you where you need to be. Gabriel, he sets over paradise, serpents, and cherubims. So he guards different things. Not yeah, he guards different things. Remiel is over those who rise. So there are 7 archangels. The ones I just named are archangels. Thank you, God, for giving me that name because I couldn't think of it for nothing in the world. There are 7 archangels, and they all have their own function on what they do. Now, the thing about it is, though, there are descendants. There are, and this is let me say, I was told to say allegedly, even though I know what I'm talking about, and so does, yeah. But allegedly, to protect myself, the first 13 families of the world, okay, can trace their bloodline back all the way to the Nephilims. Remember, we said the Nephilims was the children of the fallen angels and human beings. There is a whole section of a country, it's a small country, that came up with Rh negative blood because back then they were drinking blood, and they were drinking the blood of animals. Okay, that became their ritual. They would kill the animal, drain the blood, and would drink the blood so much so that it altered their own DNA. And so anybody that came from that particular bloodline came with the Rh negative blood. So there are people that are human that's walking around that ancestors are the Nephilims. And there are people that are walking around who knows that their bloodline is from the serpent. And y'all know what the serpent is. Y'all know it's a snake. Human beings that is on this earth as we speak. So, one of the main ways to know that is because these people have Rh negative blood. It was a blood that comes from an animal. It's a blood that came from the Nephilims, which their dads was the fallen angels, so they wasn't human. Okay, and some people are trying to make those fallen angels the not UFO, but UFO is what they flew in, trying to make them be people from outer space because they're equal. Some of the stuff that you look at them people or that we read about or whatever, it's the same thing that these fallen angels did. So people are trying to say, well, is it really fallen angels or is it the UFO people? However, their DNA is connected to them. Some people have had kids, and from generation to generation to generation, somehow, they have traced their blood back to the Rh negative factor. Most of them, most of them is in Europe, but they have like ventured out into the other parts of the world. They are everywhere. They're everywhere. And again, like I said, that's why I took y'all back to the scripture. It says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the coming of man, son of God. Because whatever was going on back in Noah's day, and we can break it down, I can tell you what was going on. But whatever was going on back in Noah's days, it's going on now because it's going to be a repeat. So let's just say if back then they were marshals, Martians rather, or UFO people. Why can't I think of what these people are called? Anyway, say back then there was going on. Well, it's going to happen now, and it is happening now. Back then they were manipulating animals, DNA, everything. They're doing that now. They're doing that now. Have y'all not seen like different things where you look at an animal and you go, what kind of animal is that? I ain't never seen nothing like that. It could look like a cat, but then it's a dog, but then it's a squirrel. You be like, what? Huh? What is? Huh? Or it looked like a spider, but then it got a tail like a snake, and then because they're manipulating animals. And I believe because I've seen some stuff, and we'll say I've seen it on TV. We'll just say it like that. But I believe that there's some people that's among us that's not the people that's among us. I just pay attention on a whole lot of stuff that don't make sense. Like case in point. Case in point. I was watching this show. It was a live show. It was with a sports commentator. And they began to ask this particular sports guy that's well known questions because he was on the panel. Questions. And he froze. They were all on the panel together in the same room, everything. And he froze. And I mean, literally froze. He didn't blink. He didn't move. His mouth didn't move. Nothing. Everybody, and they was like, what you think about that? I ain't gonna say the person's name. What you think about that? What? And he just froze. And when they realized he was froze, they took the conversation to somebody else. And they said, we're going to take a break. And then when they came back, he was talking. I was like, what the heck did I just see? Somebody called once, and it was a human being that called. And when they called my phone, they called my house phone. They called my phone. The person was talking in English. And then all of a sudden, it went to. And I took the phone away from my ear and I put it back to my ear. And I heard somebody say, 1 moment. So Yeah. And I know some people think it's as hard to believe, and that's fine. I ain't trying to convince nobody or nothing, but I know what I know. It's weird. But as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be. So shall it be. Okay, here's the thing also that I'm looking into. I always wanted to know, y'all, why Cain killed Abel, right? Everybody said Cain killed Abel because of the sacrifice, that God accepted Abel's sacrifice and not his. But why? That seems so extreme. That was the first recorded case in the world, was when Cain killed Abel. Okay. And I always wondered, it had to be more than that. It had to be more than that. Okay, so some scholars is saying that, and that's why I'm telling you this. I ain't saying God saying nothing. Some scholars is saying the reason why Cain felt the way he did against his brother Abel was because Cain was not uh, Adam's son. That Cain was actually the serpent's son that mated with Eve. And then here come Abel with Adam. So there was a contention there to begin with because of whose daddy was who. And that's what some of the scholars are saying. Some of the scholars is saying that they both had the same father, but had a different mother. They're saying, quote unquote, the mythical person that some of us have heard about named Lilith, that Lilith was Adam's first wife who got banished from the Garden of Eden because she would not obey. And they're saying that that was Cain's mother. But the scholars didn't allow it to be in the Bible because it would look a certain way. So the way that it reads that, you know, you don't know no difference from Eve not being his mother. I believe they will point you into the right direction. I really do. I believe that it's more in there that gives more information than what they're saying is not. And when all this happened with with the fallen angels, they went and had a conversation with Enoch, and they asked Enoch, in order, and I'm using a up to date word. They asked Enoch if he would represent them with God, to let God know that they sorry, they don't want to be banished, blah blah blah. So Enoch took it to God, and God had already made up his mind. No, no, they're gone. And so Enoch went back and told them that God said no, that you are forever banned, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And so Enoch was very instrumental in the things that happened on the earth. As far as we know, Enoch is the only one. Well, I want to say maybe Elijah too, but let's just say Enoch is the first one that never tasted death. Enoch was the first one that went to heaven without dying. The angels brought a chariot of fire to pick him up and take him to heaven. And God put him over things. So yeah. So that RH negative blood, it's something to that. I wanted to take y'all back to where it came from. And of course, like I said, since Africa is the beginning of civilization, they said, well, we're going to go over there, we're going to test them, and we know we're going to find that gene. Never found it. To this day, never found it, because it didn't come from us. And there is, like I said, there are some people, it's not a lot, but there are some people, that carry that gene, but that gene is passed down. That is not anything that, uh, you know, that you can just pick up or whatever. That's a gene that's passed down through generation to generation to generation to generation. So a lot of people, um, especially back in the old days, they marry bloodlines to keep the bloodlines pure. So yeah, and there will be, like I said, we're gonna do a part two because I'm gonna get into some stuff, and I had already told y'all about. Um, I gave y'all the blood type of the people that we came from once before in another video. Um, but there will be, and keep this in your head, because y'all gonna start hearing this. There will be people that's gonna start saying, because they can't let this monkey thing alone. What I mean by that is they keep saying that we came from monkeys. Okay, that's the Darwin theory. I told y'all Darwin didn't really believe that. That was a dream he had. So yes, you're right, Lashanae. Yep. And so there will be people that are going to start coming out saying that the fallen angels or the Nephilims is the ones who created us and not God. Okay? And mark my words. They're going to start saying that man was created, why we turned from monkeys to man, had to do with the fallen angels. That they turned us from monkeys to apes, gorillas, whatever they're trying to say we were. That they turned us from that to man. So that's going to be one thing to come out, which is not true. But however, people believe anything that does not start with Christ or God. So they'll believe that, but they won't believe that God created the world. God created us. So it's more, people are apt to believe more that the fallen angels created us since they taught us so much stuff. But here's the thing, they taught us a whole bunch of stuff, right? So who was they teaching? Monkeys? I'm confused. See, it don't make sense. When you think about stuff, it don't make sense. But there will be a whole lot of people that will run with that instead of saying, no, I ain't going with that one. That's why I said it's going to come. Hey, NC girl, smooches to you. That's why I said it's going to come a time. You're going to have to make your election assured. You're going to have to know what you know and stand on what you know and don't be moved, because a whole lot of things is getting ready to speed up and a whole lot of things is getting ready to reveal itself. And like I said, one of them is they don't like the fact that we still believe and know that Christ made us, that God made us, like he said in Genesis. They don't believe that. They don't want that to be, how can you believe a fictional person? The Bible's just it's just a book of stories and, all this and all that. Okay, well, I tell you what, I believe the book of stories. I'd rather believe those pass away and it be true than not to believe them on this side and pass away and it be true. So, but Cain had kids. Cain was a mess. After God banished him from the Garden of Eden, Cain created his own city and everything. Cain was a mess. And his kids were corrupt. They were doing everything. Everything. And that's why sometimes I come on here and I explain everything like this. I say, Cain had kids. So some of these people to me are descendants of Cain. the way they move, the way they act. You know, yeah, yeah, Lashana, yeah, he was a mess. He was a mess. Um, Here's another thing I had to explain to somebody. Okay, so in the beginning, you know how first of all, Eve got a bad rap. We already heard this before, but Eve got a bad rap. They blamed Eve for the fall of Adam when Eve wasn't conceived when God gave the commandment to Adam. So that's kind of hard to blame her because when you read it, when she ate the forbidden fruit, and we don't know if it was an apple, a plum, a peach, or pear. So, I don't say what it is. I just said forbidden fruit. When she ate of the forbidden fruit, nothing happened. Because why? The commandment wasn't given to her. When he ate, that's when everything changed. Why? Because the commandment was given to him. You knew what God said, but yet and still, you ate. So even with that, you know how they start putting on fig leaves and stuff, right? And God said, Adam, where art thou? And he said he hid because he was naked. And God said, who told you you was naked? So think about that. Him and Eve was together and didn't even know they were naked. So it wasn't a sexual thing. It was companionship. Oh, that's deep. People ain't gonna get it didn't become a sexual thing until after the fall. Remember, God wanted him to have somebody he could talk to because the animals had each other. So his thing was, I'm gonna create you a helpmeet. She's gonna be bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. I'm gonna take a rib, the first surgery ever known. He took a rib, placed it in one man, woman with a wound. I'm sorry, man with a wound. That's what that was. It was for companionship. He tried, and so did a whole lot of exactly. I said it all the time. My brother believed. Okay, yeah, and so did a whole lot of preachers that was not studying the word. They just took it in. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. No, Eve has gotten a lot of bad raps. And here's the thing: what people need to realize too: Adam was watching Eve current a conversation with the serpent. He didn't tell her, Eve, come here, get away from my wife, serpent. Go ahead and go somewhere. He didn't say none of that. He was right there in the garden when the serpent was telling her, you ain't gonna surely die. That's why I said, when it comes to this companionship and marriage and stuff, I think that's why I'm so hard on men because you all are taken from God. God made you after his own image. And there's nothing flaky, neglectful, lying, nothing like that about God. And that's what he made you guys. He said, let us make man. So, I mean, you know, and to have a mate and you don't pay no attention to the mate, and then when things backfire, you blame the mate when it's your responsibility as the head of the house to make sure everything. See, and I know me saying that just rubs some female what you call them people? What you call them women? Uh Come on, brain, wake up. Your body's woke, but your brain ain't. Uh Women's lib. I know that me saying this, honey, they gonna revoke my woman's card. They're gonna take my card away from me because for some reason we as women have a problem with the word submit. And here's the thing, women. When you say I do, to a man, when you say I do, ain't nobody twist your arm to tell you to say I do. Ain't nobody put a gun to your head and said you better say I do. So when you take it upon yourself and say, yes, this is the man I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. This is the man that I can grow with. This is the man that tickles my fancy and all this and stuff. You are signing a contract that says I do to this person and whatever that means, unless you all get it together before you say, I do. So when I hear women say, I ain't gotta submit to my husband for what? I work just like he do. I do just like he. Okay, great, groovy, grand. You work, yay. Now that we know that, now what? Because the order is still the order. The contract is still the contract. Well, he don't do such and such a, but you knew that when you said I do. Our thing is we always feel like we can change a man. That's our thing because we're nurturers. So we feel, oh, he's good with 20% of this. We look at the 20-80 rule instead of the 80-20 rule. Okay, he's good at 20% of this, so I can make him do the rest. And then when you say I do, and you wake up the next morning, you realize you married to Freddy Cougar instead of Denzel. Now you stuck. The contract is the contract has been signed and you stuck. So what I'm saying to you is, and I'm speaking from an ex-wife. Y'all know my husband's deceased. Let me tell you something. I was glad I didn't have to lead all the time. Did I say that? Yes, I did. I was glad that the decision making to a certain point was up to him. He was just a smart enough man to say, when it comes to this, this, and this, I don't know. So I'm gonna have to go to my wife. Baby, you take care of this, this, and this, and I don't care what nobody think about it. This is right here because you much better at that than I am. It takes a real man to know when a woman is better than him than something. Especially if y'all on the same team and y'all supposed to be fighting the devil and other people and not each other. Not each other. It's only when a man gets to a point and he feels, well, you gotta obey what I say. You can't lead your way to the bathroom. You pee on the floor. You can't even lift up the seat and pee correctly. But you want me to follow you. Follow you where? First, you have to know he's a leader. That's if that's what you want. Now, if you just want somebody that's gonna sex you real good and every now and then do something for you, then okay, by all means, you say I do to whatever. But if you know that ain't gonna do it, don't do it. Feminist, thank you. Girl, I couldn't even think about it. Let me see. Submission doesn't mean slave. Man must submit to God and the one must submit to her husband. The children must submit to the parents. Yeah, what other is a big deal? Well, I just explained that my husband was deceased, so. But anyway, yeah. So I'm just saying, will you always agree? No. But whoever has the best idea for the family or for the couple is the one that actually you're supposed to go with. Who has the best idea on this particular situation? Because yes, the man is the head, but guess what? You the neck. And let me see somebody try to move a head without a neck. I'll wait. Honey, the neck gives stability. The neck holds him in place, holds him up when he can't hold himself up. The neck makes sure he's got nourishment and everything. Honey, who? The neck is very important. So yeah, you may be the head, but I'm the neck. Try to operate without your neck. You be head and shoulders out here. So I'm just saying, you know, think about that. Think about it. Because I've seen some relationships and I've wondered myself, how the heck is that working? How is that working? He demeans her. He lies. He don't do nothing. She out here working sick. He don't clean no house. He don't cook. He don't even buy dinner. But he worried about sexing, eating, and the house being clean. And she working. What are you doing? I be wondering, I'm like, well, how? But it ain't my struggle. Because I would never. Call me bougie, call me stuck up, call me whatever you want to call me. I be all those things. But what I ain't gonna do, uh-uh. Nah, we ain't doing that one, player. Uh-uh. Plus, I'm 52. I ain't gonna do all that. That's you want something like it all the way done. I think here's my thing. If an older man knows, or let's just say somebody my age, knows he wants a woman that's going to fall all over him, screw him on every whim anytime he feels it, uh keep his house clean from top to bottom, be available to do whatever he say do when he say do it, and have his dinner cooked at a certain time every day. He needs to marry somebody young that don't know no better. He needs to marry somebody young that don't know who she is. Cause a woman who knows who she is ain't falling for that. And I always say that work with the papers you got. Don't be trying to get big when small got you. Because a woman who knows who she is and worth her salt ain't going for that. And it's not going to go for that type of treatment. I have certain habits that I like. Okay. For real. When I want a Starbucks, I want a Starbucks. I don't want to hear, well, I ain't got no money. I shouldn't have to ask my mate for money. That's just that. I'm just telling you about me. I shouldn't have to ask you for no money. You should make sure I got money in my pocket. Point blank, period. I'm used to in the wintertime a man warming up my car for me or taking me where I need to go. I'm not used to taking in groceries. I'm used to going to get my nails done and pedicure when I want to. What else? If I say I don't feel like cooking today, I guess I'll order me something. I'm used to my bills being paid. So it's certain things that I'm used to, I ain't willing to give up. So that right there puts puts a whole lot of men out of the pasture for real. Cause mm-mm, I can't. I don't mind submitting, but you gotta give me something to submit to. You got to give me something to submit to. I don't want your habit. I don't want your attitude. I don't want none of that because I can get one too. And I'm just not with that right now. When you in your 50s, you just want to be chill. You just want to enjoy life. You want to enjoy your partner. You want to take rides, check into the hotel every now and then. Enjoy each other out to dinner, go to the movies, go to concerts, get up on a Sunday morning after you done, went to church. I had your early morning service, or maybe a Saturday morning, and just take off when you don't know where you're going. You just want to drive as long as y'all together. See, that's me. That's where I'm at. I ain't with the arguments. I ain't with, you gotta be right. And if I say one thing, you want to argue about, not, that's not me. That ain't me. That ain't me. So I told y'all my kids and my sister and my mama now all think I'm gonna be married to a white man. Because they was like, your husband was a unicorn. God really gave him to you. He was a unicorn. I don't know no black man that's like that. They don't even exist. So you will have to go to another race. Cause ain't no black man gonna do all that. And that's sad. That's sad, y'all. That's sad. Plus, I'm in ministry. I don't need my mate to be jealous of me and God's time. I ain't no novice at this. There is times that I put aside for me and the Father so I can be a better wife to my mate. And some men can't stand that. They don't want you preaching. Even if you came into the relationship preaching, they don't want you preaching. You go to church too much. You need to stop all that church stuff. Well, when you met me, it was me and God, and you ain't have a problem with that. All of a sudden now you got a problem with it. See, and I would never not pick God. That ain't gonna work in this time and this dispensation of the next. And I know a lot of women are faced with that. I know a lot of women that's women ministers. They are faced with the one day I was ministering. After I got through preaching, this man stood up. He said, I would like to say something to this preacher if I can. And they was like, yeah. He said, because of your word, he said, I need to go home and apologize to my wife. Everybody looked at him and said, oh, he said, no. He said, I'm serious. He said, I see how this man is supporting you while you up here giving the word. He said, my wife's a preacher too, and I don't support her at all. He said, that just made me feel so bad that she's doing something for God, and I don't even support her because I'm jealous at the fact she preaching and I ain't. He said, so I want you to know I received that. I'm going home and apologize to my wife, and I'm going to be her biggest cheerleader. I was like, yeah, that made me cry because I never had that with my spouse. Never. Every time I ministered, he was right there. He would bring my Bible in, my suitcase. He would open up my water for me. He'd give me my little handkerchief. He'd be sitting right there in the front row. Preach, baby. I mean, he took an honor in that. But there's most men, they won't do it. They'll tell you to me, you need to stop all that and sit down and get your place. What's my place? And some people were raised that way. They was just raised as a woman's second class citizen that, she has no rights. Some men don't like when women get their hair done. No, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. That's because they are so insecure. They're afraid some other man gonna look at their wife, and they don't want that. No, you can't wear that. You can't. No, you can't wear that. Excuse me. And why can't I? Hey, babe, what's going on, sissy? So I'm just saying, you can't. Yeah, you can't. I need, and like I said, I'm different, y'all. I'm different, but the king that's in the book, that's the king I need for real. That's the king I need because it's sometimes I go through things that I can't speak on, that I can't speak on because I don't know the words to tell you how I feel. I need for you not to be quote unquote the alpha male. What's wrong with you? Why ain't you saying something? Well, forget it. No, I need you to do what Second Peter said, dwell with them with understanding. Babe, what's going on? Every time you get like this, something's wrong. What's going on? If men understood, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done with that. If men understood, real women just need a soft place to fall sometime because we don't get it outside them doors. We have to be all we can outside them doors. If men understood that if you are my safe place, I can safely trust you. And I know that if I can just get to you, everything gonna be okay because you're gonna love me right. And I ain't talking about sex. I'm talking about you gonna love me and tell me, baby, it's okay. I got you. Come on, I got you. And I know you got me, baby. Ain't nothing we can't do. Nothing. Real mamas for real. Nothing we can't do. But the problem is a lot of males today, they don't know who they are. And you use so much of you trying to build them up to the king you know they are to where you don't have any for yourself. you know. So, and then I'm gonna tell y'all, a lot of times I'm gonna say this. I think the difference it was when my deceased husband and a lot of men was my deceased husband was raised by his father. His mother died, well, got killed when he was 10. She got hit by a car. So his dad raised him to a certain point. Then he went and his great great auntie raised him a little bit more, and then he went back to his dad. So for the most part, his dad was his parent, and he saw his dad get up, work, keep the house, cook, get them off to school, comb her. He saw all of that, pay bills, everything. And so that set the stage for him to do the same thing. But I think a lot of men fight to not be like their dads, that they end up being exactly like their dads. Like attitude wise, all haughty, uh, you know, snapping, trying to make a woman feel like she less than, trying to be whatever with the checkbook, I ain't gonna give you nothing, you know, all of that. And you be like, did you just say your dad was like that? I ain't like my daddy. Yes, you are. You a carbon copy. Yes, you are. So a whole lot of people they can't take it. Can't take. In my QB voice, can't take unique. But I'm just saying, if we're gonna do right, let's do right all together. Let's create something that works for us. I don't care what your friends doing, they ain't here. And if you're gonna listen to your quote unquote homeboys, then move them in with us so I can have two husbands. How about that? You sleep in one room, let him sleep in another, and I just alternate. If you gonna listen to him, shouldn't I? So he might as well be here. See how that works? A lot of I understand. I've seen this, y'all. Grown men. I've seen grown men that are still being punked by their friends, and it's like, when you gonna grow up? I don't get it, cause we ain't going for it. Our friends could say, "Girl, man over got you all laid up in the house." We be like, "Sure do, girl. Get you one." you know. But some men are not like that. They homeboys be saying all this stuff. I don't want to look like no punk in front of my friend. Huh? And how old are you again? How do you? What difference does that make? Because you acting like you 10. That's just some conversations when you in a relationship you should never have to have. And that be one. Because most of the time, when your so-called hey, when your so-called friends see you happy with somebody, they get jealous. And then men start pulling them junkie stunts because they're trying to mess it up. And then when they get somebody, you don't even see them. Be like, where you been? I ain't seen you in about 3 weeks. Ah, me and Susie, that's my boo thing. We been laid up, man. And I think she the one. And here you done lost your good thing for your friend. Now your friend showing you they got somebody they ain't thinking about you. Now you back in the lonely line again. You back in the pray for me line. Y'all pray for me that I find somebody else. Oh, well, you had somebody, you screwed it up, and you want God to trust you yet again. Okay, right, real mamas, you need. So I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, we got to get it together because we are not meant, and that's why I tell men, you are not meant to be here alone. That's why God gave Adam Eve. I said all that to say that. He gave Adam Eve for companionship. You're not meant to be alone. That's crazy. You're not. But some of y'all don't like yourself. So I ain't getting no woman because I can't stand me. I never get somebody come here and then they can't stand me. So I just write it on by myself. Okay, well, if that's what you choose to do. But I'm here to tell you, like I said, I was prophesied to honey that my husband know who I am. And I just had a dream last night, y'all, that scared the real mamas. Y'all, this dream scared the crap out of me. I was not expecting somebody to be in my dream that was in my dream. And you talking about waking up like, wait a minute, what? Huh, what? Uh-uh. God, I don't believe that one. You gonna really have to come down here, sit on my bed, and say, daughter, this is such and such and such a. Cause other than that, I think the devil done intervened. And instead of me going left, he took me right, and I ended up on the stupid boulevard that I ain't trying to go down. No, ma'am, no ham, no sandwich. That dream scared the crap, y'all. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I had a dream that my husband, before he was my husband, before we even started dating, I had a dream. I'm gonna blow my nose in a minute. That my husband was my husband. I went in my house, went to bed. In my house, in my dream, I saw the man in a black suit, white shirt, black tie, in a red shirt, like the pews and stuff was red and white on the inside, and his hair was tapered, like cut real low, tapered. I woke up and said no, because at the time, the dude I danced with at the dance had a curl with a shirt on and some blue jeans. He looked nice, don't get me wrong, but he had that curl. And I ain't date dudes with curls. So when I went to bed that night and God showed me a vision, I was like, I woke up the next day like, So imagine my surprise when Mother's Day, I'm 2 doors down at my cousin's house, who was dating his brother, and we was all in there talking. It was me and 3 other women and my cousin, sipping on coolers, talking. And they said, who is that pulling up? And it was his little brother that my cousin was dating. They said, who else is there with him? Right? And they was like, shut up. They was like, They said, Coco, you need to come and see this. I'm still sitting there with my cooler. I ain't budged. I'm like, I ain't looking at nobody. No, you need to come see this when you ain't gonna believe this. So that goes outside. So I'm sitting there like, that's rude as heck. I gets up. I goes to the front door to go outside. Happened to look up. When I looked up, that man was coming from around the other side of the car. If he didn't look good, he had cut his curl. His hair was tapered. Ain't that in my dream? Mm-hmm. He had on a peach Stacey Adams outfit with some Stacey Adams sandals. Y'all. And he smiled at me and I ran. I kid you not. I took off running. They like, why that fool running? I ran. I went in my house and slammed my door and locked my door like, Because I knew what my dream said, right? I'm like, nope, nope, mm-mm. And so my cousin came down, said, unlock the door, girl. I got something to ask you. So he secretly told her, see if she going with us. I'm going to pay for her and the kids. Don't tell her though. And so I had cooked for Mother's Day. And she was like, cuz you gotta go. I said, why I gotta go? Why? Why I gotta go? And she was like, I ain't supposed to tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you because I know you. You ain't gonna go without knowing. And so I looked at her. She said, girl, he gonna pay for you and the kids. I stopped in my track. I said, this cannot be happening to me. Okay, so we go. We out in Ponderosa. Yeah, it was about 20 to 30 of us. I kid you not. We had like 4 or 5. No, we had 5 or 6 cars. We all in Ponderosa. So I steps up with my kids, and he steps up behind me and said, I got them and me. And they's like, hey, so everybody still hollering, all right, we there, woo, woo, woo. You know, all this and stuff. You know how dudes are. I said, thank you. We get over. He said, you want me to help you sit the kids? He set them down and fixed their plates with me, and me and him sat together and talked and all this and stuff. And then after we left there, they was going to play basketball at the park, and the kids wanted to run around. So we all went home, changed our clothes. He asked me, was I gonna go to the park and watch him hoop? I was like, sure, why not? Before we got back in the car after watching him hoop, me and him was an item. That's how quick that went. Just like that. So imagine me having this dream, and in this dream, I see the face, a whole body, and all this and stuff, blah, blah, blah. No. I ain't going. I ain't going. I ain't going. And my fat baby boys, I ain't going. No, ma'am. No. I don't believe that one. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. So and see, I always run my map. I said, God gonna have to tell me. He gonna have to give me a dream that somebody's my husband. And what he do? No, I ain't going for it. He gonna have to come back in that. And I love God, but he gonna have to he gonna have to come back in that, y'all. Right. I'm running. I'm running. That I am running. No. I'll be doing time. Y'all be sending me cigarettes. No. And I don't even smoke. Y'all be like, Coco. We knew when she said yeah. We just started stacking up cigarettes because we knew eventually we was gonna have to send them to a penitentiary. I'm so serious. Unless God, yeah, I can't even say it. I can't even. I don't. No, no, no. Right. He did exactly what I said. Crazy. I'm like, I could not believe it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Talking to my sister. Y'all too. I'm talking to I could not believe it. Do you hear me? You talking about waking up like, no, no. I know that ain't what you saying. It was at a clear blue sky. Like, I was all, been going to the luncheons and all this and stuff, and everything. And yeah. And, huh? Mm, the Lord must gonna save me. He must. I don't know about. I don't know what to say, guys. But that hit me hard. It hit me hard like a sledgehammer. I was like, oh no. Oh no. Uh-uh. So anyway, God, I'm obedient. And you know your daughter. And you know my temper at times. And this person tends to pull my temper out. Like the temper I used to have when I was, 8 and 9, to where, yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anywho. Yeah, because yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anywho, like I said, I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry. I had a moment. I'm so hot. I'm over here. My whole body temperature done turned hot. I cannot believe it. Let me calm down. Let me calm down, because Jesus. Jesus, fix it. Jesus, fix it. Oh, anywho. Okay, so y'all, how long we been on here? Oh my God. We've been on here for a minute. I hope y'all got something from the blood. I will be doing a part two. I did say I have a herb for you guys. Um, just so I can keep my word. Let me give it to you, because I didn't want this to go real long. But I spazzed out. Shoot, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. La 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 la. Let me see. Okay, so let me just tell you about this. Um, this right here is really good for people who want to make sure that they detoxing, and people that you might want your blood cleansed. So it is called. Hold on, I'm gonna just copy it. Come on, where are you? Hold on, copy, Coming back over. Okay. Girl, try not to spaz out. Okay, paste. Okay, here we go. All right, show. Okay, it's called neem, right? Neem has been used as an antiseptic, insect repellent, and or dentifrice in a traditional medicine to treat malaria, diabetes, worms, cardiovascular, and skin disease. It's reportedly has, uh, I'm stopped up, y'all. Contraceptive, anti-ulcer, and fungicidal properties, as well as applications relevant to cancer. Okay, so let me just sum it up. It's a blood cleaner. Point blank, period. It's a blood cleaner. It cleans your blood. You can get this in tinctures, you can get this in herbs, you can get this in tea and supplements. It's a blood cleanser. And a lot of people whose blood is not cleaning for whatever reason, a lot of people on dialysis, that's what they do on dialysis. They clean your blood. So a lot of times, if you can catch it before you get to dialysis and start cleaning your own blood and everything, then that's a good way of keeping your body in optimal shape. So yeah, neem goes in and it cleans your blood. It really do. Um, it does a whole lot of other stuff. I take neem once a day. Once a day. So it's you can tell the difference. If you have insulin resistance, it's good for that as well. Um, what else? Just different things. And so let me show y'all what the bottle looks like, okay? So that way y'all know. Let's see. Uh, I'm just gonna show y'all any bottle instead of trying to pull up Amazon. Okay. Present arms. What you eat today, 300? There you go. See, it's called neem leaf. Some people may have those growing in their yard. You just have to know which tree to pull it out from. But yeah, neem is thunder. It is really, really good. Some chicken churches. What is that? Some churches chicken. So yeah, y'all, neem is good. And I would say if you have any type of disease as well, um, like I said, diabetes or anything like that, what you want to do is make sure that your blood is clean, you know. So yeah, if you can start helping your body by cleaning your blood, that would be awesome. Yeah, and I heard it grows your hair too and stuff like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Neem is good. It really is. So I've been taking it almost a month now, and I like what I'm feeling and seeing. So yeah. So yeah, neem is good. It was raining here like cats and dogs, y'all. It's gonna stop now, and my house is hotter than hot. It could just be me because I got frustrated, and I know it's not even a word, but frustrated, dag nabbit. So anyway, thank you guys for my pictures y'all saw of my weight loss. I can't believe it myself. When I look at them pictures, I'm like, whoa. It's really wow. And the only thing that I kind of am sad about when it comes to that is that my husband didn't get a chance to enjoy this me, like the older me, the lighter me as far as pound is concerned, which he loved me no matter what. But he didn't get the chance to, enjoy this one and stuff. So, that's the only thing I kind of sometimes be like, dang, man, because we had planned on, like I said, we was moving and it was just gonna be me and him, you know, and we was gonna travel and all this stuff. So that's another reason why I harp on these relationships. Don't wait so late, y'all, to start enjoying your life, because tomorrow's not promised to none of us, for real. It's just not. And even if you have to do things by yourself, you should always do something for you. Thank you, 300. You should always do something for you, you know. Um, Even if it's just whatever. You don't want this year to go out and you still not doing something for you. You know what I'm saying? Go eat at a famous restaurant that you like, uh, at least once. Or, buy a shirt, buy a new shirt, buy some new curtains. Uh, Buy you a mug. Even if you don't drink coffee, you might drink tea. Buy you a mug. Just something that you can say you did something for you. You did something for you. Because again, none of us is promised tomorrow. And I've seen so much death in the last 2 years. I've had enough. I've had enough. It's like, so I'm every day of my life, I'm doing something for me. And it's like lately I have been comfortable just being. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get up, I open up my doors, make me a cup of coffee. Uh and sometimes I just go in my media room and watch a good movie. Um Whatever it is, I'm doing it for me, you know. Uh and I thank people who call and check on me. Thank you, real mamas. And different people who call and check on me, make sure I'm good, that I'm still, hanging in there and all this and stuff. I appreciate that. I really do. That has helped me to to heal, And then every now and then, y'all, I still have one of those moments where it's like I cry, you know, and but it's not like it used to be, you know. And so yeah, I'm coming along. I am, and I don't want to grieve his memory. And so, plus, I'm at a point, like I said, I am ready to, which I have been having little dates. I don't guess you call it dates. I don't know what you call it. I ain't did this in so long, yeah. I have no idea what it's called. Uh, just going to eat and everything. Um, like I said, I went to Holly Lobby for the first time in my life and enjoyed it. Do you hear me? I'm going back just to walk through Holly Lobby because I love to put my house in a certain way, and I just feel in love. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at all it. So I was like a kid. I know the people look at me like, she ain't never been here before. I had never been to Holly Lobby. Right, right. What I don't do though is clubs, and that's what people don't understand. I did the club thing years ago. I don't club. Don't want the club. Not interested in clubbing. I eat all day long as it's something I like a good Caesar salad, some salmon, um, some hot wings. That's basically it right there. But that's it. Some breakfast food. But other than that, I'm not interested in the club. I am that girl that is comfortable at home. I'm a homebody. And y'all gotta realize I did this for almost 30 years. Like, be here, be home. So I'm still like that. I was like that when he met me. I would work, come home, my house be clean, I cook, do my kids' hair, honey, get my clothes out for work. Every now and then I would go out. But it wasn't no, girl, I gotta go out every night. That didn't even interest me, you know. That's just, I'd rather have everything in my house. And I do. So I really don't have no need to go out unless I want to go to the movies. I have to eat, But other than that, I'm good. I'm comfortable. I'm coogee. So more to the point, I talk to them on the phone. People call and I'm like, "What's up?" Stupid. What's up? Now lately though, I've been getting into bed. Let's see, by 11:30. Yeah, that's how early I've been turning in, honey. So I don't go to sleep, but I turn in at that time. And then I might drift off about 11:45. But other than that, I'll be on what's up when I can. Some days I don't feel it. And most of the time, my mother has no sense of timing. My mama feels like every time she calls me, I'm supposed to pick up the phone. And so every time she calls me, I picks up the phone. And I'm like, okay, you do know it's 11:05. Oh, girl, my fault. Well, I call you tomorrow, but guess what? So I already know we're gonna be 15 minutes on the phone. I'm like, oh, okay, mom, for real. This could wait until tomorrow. I ain't know what time it was. Anyway, bye. So yeah. Oh, no matter what, honey, I'm supposed to answer that phone. Now, does she do me like it? No, no. So, anywho, and then my baby girl, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let y'all go. My baby girl feels like every time she called, I'm supposed to answer the phone. Because she'll call me back to back, back to back. Mama, I called you 3 times and you ain't answer. Uh, I was in the shower. Oh, okay. Call me back. Ring, ring, ring. What? I called you, you called me. I was asleep. Oh, you woke now? Yes, I'm woke. What is it, baby girl? So yeah, I'm supposed to be available, honey, no matter what. Anywho, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I will put out there when we do part two, and everything. And y'all know how to get in contact with me. Send me an email, shoot me a text. I appreciate you guys. And remember, if nobody told you that they love you, I do. And if nobody told you you're important, you are. You all have a blessed, blessed night. Smooches.